The symbol was a cross formed by the Greek letters chi and rho, the first two letters in the name of Christ. Above the sign were the words, "Conquer by this."
The historic transformation of the pagan Roman Empire into a Christian one, that is, the wounding of the beast, began with Constantine and his famous victory over Maxentius at the Milvian Bridge in 312. This was one of the most important events in human and Christian history. On the eve of this battle, Constantine received a vision in which he saw the sign of Christ and the cross and the words, "In this sign you will conquer." Later on that day, Constantine received another vision in which Jesus Christ instructed him to use his sign in battle. Constantine received the sign in which he would conquer the pagan Roman beast on October 27th in the year 312. On the same day, Jesus Christ appeared to him. Well, the Assisi event in 1986, the most notorious event of the Great Apostasy, the means by which the followers of the counterchurch are implicated in mortal sin, and a huge sign of the return of pagan Europe, occurred on October 27th of 1986. It's not just a coincidence. As the sign in which the beast would be wounded and conquered appeared to Constantine on October 27th in 312, the sign that the beast had spiritually recovered from that wound was visible on October 27th, 1986 with the Assisi event.
Pope St. John Paul II.
Pope St. John Paul the Great.
St. John Paul.
Assisi is the sign in which the Antichrist spiritually conquers because it's the symbol of the apostasy and indifferentism of the Vatican II sect. It's not the only one, but it's the most notorious one. It's the one that most quickly implicates people in sin when they honor Anti-Pope John Paul II as a saint or follow the new religion. Thus, the Antichrist spiritually conquers almost all of Christian Europe and the followers of the counterchurch by the standard of Assisi, just as Christ wounded the beast with the standard of the cross. At Assisi and through his other teachings and actions, John Paul II organized and supported the worship of idols. Hence, when people who are familiar with what he did call him holy or a saint, they are by implication calling the idols and the false gods that he served holy. That's why the honor given to his image by followers of the counterchurch is mentioned in the Apocalypse as a means by which people are damned.
Pope St. John Paul II.
Pope St. John Paul the Great.
St. John Paul.
St. John Paul.
I'm not questioning his personal holiness.
St. John Paul II.
Of course, St. John Paul II.
It's a term given to these teachings of St. John Paul the Great.
In quelle stesse parole è la nuova verità. Tu sei il Cristo, figlio del Dio vivente.
It's also very interesting that Anti-Pope John Paul II's opening homily in the Vatican Temple, in which he declared with astounding Antichrist audacity that man is the Christ, the Son of the living God, was given on October 22nd, 1978. Well, October 22nd was the date of perhaps the most important dogmatic definition about the person of Jesus Christ in church history. The definition of faith at the Council of Chalcedon in 451 declared that Jesus Christ is one divine person with two natures. It was promulgated on October 22nd, 451, and it became part of the law of the empire, like various other acts of ecumenical councils in the Christian Roman Empire. So, one of the key signs that pagan Rome had returned under Anti-Pope John Paul II, the sixth king of the Vatican City-State, was his bold and blasphemous contradiction of perhaps the most important dogmatic definition of the Church concerning Jesus Christ's identity.
In quelle parole è la fede della Chiesa. In quelle stesse parole è la nuova verità, anzi ultima e definitiva verità sull'uomo, il figlio del Dio vivente. Tu sei il Cristo, figlio del Dio vivente.